Hello and welcome to part 3 of my Grombrindal Immortal Empires playthrough, where last episode we finished up by raising Iron Frost, just so we could have a buffer between the Norscans and any Chaos Lords that are up there, because I think Valky is up to the north, and now we have the immediate danger of Gallic over here, possibly trying to attack the Elder Spire, so we will have to march Grombrindal back down here to try and deal with this. But of course, we don't have any movement left this turn. We also need to go over and take Rakdo Gorge, because the Skaven did retreat over here. So I'm thinking we go down here to Elder Spire, chase away the Beastmen, and then we can use the underpass to cut across the mountains here. If we check our diplomacy, we don't really have any allies in range, although the Exiles of Nehek... never mind, our relations are going down each turn. They are the only ones who kind of like us right now, and of course because of that we're not even close to having any trade. But once we clear these lands, maybe we can locate some of the Empire and our Dwarven allies. So I don't believe we can recruit because we're not in our territory, and to be fair we have a very good army. Let's see if we can build any buildings. We're already upgrading the Altar of Ultimate Darkness. We won't pay to repair this because gold is tight as the dwarves. So we're going to begin the episode by ending the turn. So the Beastmen do decide to move on and stop raiding us. If we check the garrison, Dracula Spire does have a slightly better garrison than Elder Spire. The Beastmen did stop raiding us. So I think now that they have decided to leave us, maybe we march this way. If they change their mind again, we can use the underpass to cut back. So let's march Grombrindal and his army down here. Of course, we also have to deal with Malekith at some point, and we do see a 4-stack of Skaven right there. How much movement do I have left? We could try and ambush, honestly, although I don't think... How is our garrison looking? Our garrison is a little damaged, so maybe the Skaven will take that bait. Their army is also damaged. The problem is, if I do that, then I risk not being able to reach this settlement next turn. So I think we just carry on walking. Let's not try and do any tricks. After all, we're Grombrindal. We don't need trickery. We have strength. So the Dracula Spire, we can upgrade this building. Yeah, it's not really worth the gold at the moment. I'll wait for this and then we can upgrade our Tinker's shop. So again, that looks like a very quick turn. We have 37 oath gold, so I'll wait until we have 50 oath gold. And then we can buy another rune for Grombrindal. Ambusher discovered. So the Beastmen were actually setting up an ambush for us. We have detected a force belonging to Ripper Horn Tribe attempting to lay an ambush in Dracula Spire Iron Coast. And they are actually raiding us again, annoyingly. But ammunition wagons. Dwarven wagons trains transport caseloads of shot, buckets of crossbow bolts, and casks of black powder to the coming fight, plus 20% ammunition for missile infantry units. So let's open up our tech tree. Let's see what we can get next. We can get plus 10% base missile damage for ranger units, and the same but missile strength for quarrelers. Or we can get reload time reduction of 15% for rangers, quarrelers, and thunderers. We do have a thunder unit and 2 quarreler units, so let's go for volley fire. That will be ready for us in 5 turns. And if you look at the top here, our grudges are getting slightly more severe, so I feel like we will have to take care of some of these soon. So 2 of them, yeah, the only ones we can do are the ones relating to Malekith. So really I want to go and take out Rakdo Gorge ASAP. Maybe we ignore the ogres for now and then we march over here to Har Caldra and start fighting the Dark Elves. We could do that now, but then we do leave ourselves open to the Skaven. Their army actually took damage. Did they not control this before? I do wonder. We're actually going to take attrition if we go any closer. I wonder... Could I reach that next turn if I stop here? I am kind of maybe thinking we do an ambush. Yeah, I won't take attrition in Dark Elf lands. Maybe I do spend the 1 turn just setting up an ambush. and hoping the Skaven march north and fall for that. I think that means only a 40% chance of succeeding. We do have the Beastmen over here as well, though. It's quite a challenge trying to work out what to do. But I do need to deal with the Dark Elves also. Of course, we have the grudge here. That's interesting. We did know we would have to make decisions like these. I think let's spend one turn trying to get an ambush, and then we will see what happens. Your warriors range deep into hostile lands, but all is not well. There are dark omens abroad, as if the shadow of some horned god was watching from evil moon above. The army is fettered by Moslieb's glare, so we can get improved the omens, plus 5 leadership, but we lose 1.5k gold, or we can do nothing. I think we have to do nothing. I don't want to spend my gold right now. Now, the Beastmen did march north. I'm wondering if they're planning to come and raid the Altar of Darkness, because we are in ambush, they don't see us. That is a possibility. But I think I'm going to go to the underway here. Maybe about here, because then I think from here we can reach both Rakdo Gorge and Har-Kadra when we come out of the underway, and decide next time what we want to do. As we gain another growth, let's upgrade the Elder Spire and just check diplomacy. It's worth checking every now and then. So the Dark Elves over here, but they are starting to not like us. And again, the ancient grudges are too strong to form a temporary alliance. Grombrindal is on a mission. So during our end turn, Malekith actually came over here with almost a full stack of units to Rakdo Gorge. The Skaven retreating. So if we come out of the underway now and we attack Rakdo Gorge, maybe we could then launch an attack on Malekith. So let's go ahead and do this. Oh wow. Snicketch was hiding inside. A valiant defeat. We can still win this, right? Let's see what the map looks like. So it's a proper siege with walls. Do you know what? Let's go ahead and fight it. Of course, we do have our siege attackers now, so we can actually declare a battle straight away. So let's go straight into this. So here we go for another siege. The Skaven opening up with some very fast magic. As we send in our miners here to destroy the gate. We know they're very good at that. And here are our gyrocopters about to go on a bombing run, as we see a very high concentration of Skaven behind the walls here. Let's get a close-up of the bombs as they drop. There we go, absolute carnage. So we go back to this side. You can see we've already lost one miner, sadly, to the enemy tower. But we do have Grombrindal and our runesmith here charging in, as well as our ranged units just behind them, our quarrelers and our thunderer units. And we actually get some Skaven summoned behind us on our new artillery. Of course, we have bolt throwers and grudge throwers now. The bolt throwers actually trying to destroy the enemy tower in the distance, which they have got, if I can click on it, there we go, just almost half health. But Grombrindal, not realising the Skaven are attacking his artillery. But there we go, he finally sends in the Dwarf warriors to go and deal with these pesky Skaven that have been summoned behind our lines. And the hammerers also getting involved there. But if we look in the distance, we can see that the miners have actually broken the gate. And we see Grombrindal charging into the enemy settlement, as we often see him do. His axe going to get plenty of kills and claim the Skaven lives. Of course, settling those ancient grudges, as we see his runesmith charging in, hammer raised in the background. There he goes, little jump. But a warp lightning coming off right in the middle of our units there. Actually doing quite a bit of damage if we look to our thunderers and our quarrelers, which did kind of suck. But the enemy all grouping around Grombrindal, which is good for us because he has that rune of spite, which will do damage every second to any enemy within range. And our runesmith thinking of placing a buff there, just buffing our melee attack. In hindsight, he probably could have used a rune of wrath and ruin. And on the walls we have our thunderer units now shooting down into the enemy. We've seen this setup before. The dwarfs liking to take control of the walls as soon as possible to get that vantage point where they can shoot down upon the enemy. Gyrocopters coming back in. We've also got some quarreler units on this side. Doing a very good job. We look back here, I think we managed to kill the Skaven. Yes, we did. So the Skaven that were challenging our artillery are now gone. Luckily we didn't lose any bolt throwers. And it looks like they've also finished their job of destroying this tower as another warp lightning comes crashing in, doing a lot of damage to our miners there. And you can see this quarreler unit choosing to stay on the ground rather than be taking the wall. Arrows raining down, and we're actually going to see a rune of wrath and ruin here. There we go, absolute carnage, doing a lot of damage, and that's actually the Skaven slaves there, retreating from the battle. So if I zoom out, you can see there's a lot of units in this settlement to deal with. Our gyrocopters trying to come and take down this tower, but taking a lot of fire from the Skaven slave slingers here. Will we see them take down the tower? I think one more volley and then it's done for. You can see all of the missile units firing across the settlement. And there we go. The tower has fallen and a lot of the Skaven choosing to retreat here. You see Grombrindal and the runesmith were actually chasing them across the bridge as they try and wipe out these last few units. And it seems like we do have full control here. Bringing in our melee units as well. And the Skaven now in full retreat. And another warp lightning. Oh, a lot of damage to our dwarven warriors there. Magic is definitely a weakness of ours as the camera goes all weird over these bridges. Our runesmith just placing a speed buff so we can try and catch these Skaven which are trying to retreat. And there is another tower now shooting into our units. Let's get a close-up of Grombrindal as he charges in with his axe. Oh, beautiful stuff. And I hear another warp lightning. Oh, we took a lot of casualties from warp lightning this battle. In fact, I think this is the enemy sorcerer here, as he's trying to flank us to get to our missile units. But our quarrelers will engage with him. So we take a look. We're taking a fair bit of damage. We are faring better than the Skaven, but they do have double the units. So we can see plenty of reinforcements we can still bring into fight as we see another warp lightning hit two of our dwarf units, our dwarf warriors. As they engage with the Skaven spears. Let's get a bit of frontline action here. Horns of the Skaven, bringing in reinforcements. As some Skaven retreat. There we go, they all decide to rejoin. Another Wrath of Ruin going off in the background. A lot of units here. We're really just trying to break through here so Grombrindal can just set up a line of infantry and missile units. And the enemy lord just died there, which should mean no more magic for the rest of the battle, which is very useful because the warp lightning was doing a ton. If we look now, our Iron Drake units have managed to move towards the front lines, as they do get some shots off. Unclear whether they're causing any friendly fire or not, as the Skaven now are in full retreat as we gain more ground. And the Iron Drake setting up here, they should get a very nice clean hit on all of these retreating rats. Are we going to see them shoot? There we go. That's what we love to see. And if we go down to the right here, our Dwarf warriors marching on to the capture point. Our artillery also managing to reach this far into the settlement. The horns of retreat sounding. And if we look back here, we've actually managed to move our bolt throwers into the settlement so they can help take out these towers, because our gyrocopters were very damaged at this point, so they did need some assistance just taking out these towers. And there we go, we see both the Crawlers and Iron Drake units fully dominating this bridge here. There should be no Skaven being able to break through, as we see another 7 or so rats trying to get across. We'll see if they manage it. And it seems like they have indeed made it across. Oh, fire to the face. There we go, and we can see more Skaven trying to come across the bridge too. Our Iron Drakes and Quarrelers making sure no one can get through, and then flank our Dwarf warriors. Although that's a lot of Skaven, it looks like they're managing to swarm our firepower, and they are going to engage the Iron Drakes in melee now. It's the screen vibration from the power of those flame cannons. It's making me a bit motion sick. And if we go over here, you can see we have another Crawler unit, as well as our Thunderers moving into position so we can hold this bridge here. As our Dwarf warriors march on, we have this capture point secured. Still plenty of Skaven units at full health here, as we see them try and go across the bridge again. Let's see if they have any better luck this time. Yeah, it's... I don't think you could send 10,000 Skaven through this bridge. I don't think they're making it through that wall of fire. There we go, as they change their mind and begin a retreat. That's just not the way. If we come over to the other bridge, you can see our Thunderer units are actually in melee now, and some of our Crawler units too. They are struggling to hold the bridge as effectively as the Iron Drakes are. In fact, the Thunderers and Crawlers are heavily damaged too. So we go back to the left flank here. It looks like the Skaven have all but given up trying to flank this way. As we see a unit in the background, the Crawlers getting shots off. Yeah, they decided not to take this path. But it's a very different story if we look over here. Our Thunderer units really don't have much health left, as our grudge throwers try and help out, maybe causing a little bit of friendly fire here. Let's try and get a closer view of the action. Of course, our Crawlers do have shields as well as our Thunderers, so they can still be okay in melee combat, especially against Skaven slaves, as the grudge throwers come crashing in. And there's actually more Skaven in the background. reinforcing them. For now though, we are holding as the grudge throwers come crashing in. 100% some friendly fire going on now. And we actually decide to move our other crawler unit just to offer some support fire. And we go over here. Our Iron Drakes going for a flank. The enemy, not sure if they want to attack. They do decide to turn and attack. And they're going to be met with the flame from their cannons. And once again, we see it time and time again. The Skaven retreating. Not wanting to deal with the Iron Drakes. If we go over here, they're also retreating. And that is the siege over. A close victory. So there we have it. A close victory in the end. Oh, it was a tough one. We took a lot of damage to our Thunder and Corolla units. But luckily we didn't lose any units. And in fact, if you look here, this grudge thrower, 444 kills, did very good. Our Iron Drake's also getting over 300 kills, but yeah, that's the siege is ours. That was a very tough battle. So from that battle, we got 561 for the treasury, as well as 4.2k experience, which is quite a lot. So of course, we're going to occupy this one. And unfortunately that won't destroy the faction because we did see them retreat an army. But we got the trait Rat Catcher. These subterranean rat creatures are naught but a vile pestilence we must eradicate, of course. And what does that give us? +5 leadership when fighting against Skaven. Very nice. Enemy killed in battle. Snickitch Hemlock, our enemy belonging to Clan Septic, has perished in a battle at Recto Gorge Iron Mountings. Good. Now, Grombrindal did get some level ups here. What do we need for Lightning Strike? 4 skill points. What's this one? Global recruitment capacity +1. Casualty replenishment rate was probably good. Recruitment cost or recruitment rank. Let's go for some casualty replenishment because we're going to be fighting a lot of battles. And we can actually unlock our first rank of Lightning Strike. Enemy battle reinforcement time +25%. Yeah, let's go for it. I feel like we will need this. In fact, let's get +50%. And then if we look at our Runesmith, let's get another rank up in the Rune of Wrath and Ruin. And that's the only skill up he got. Very nice. So it will take a few times for our army to regenerate. But for now, the Skaven are not a problem. They do have a 4 stack over here, but maybe the Dark Elves will deal with them. Of course, Malekith is here. We're going to send him a warning. This is our territory now. We're coming for you soon. But I believe that is the turn. Okay, we don't really need to recruit any more units. We can upgrade this so we can get an extra 100 income per turn, which I do plan on doing. And that will use all of our gold for the turn. We will check diplomacy just in case. Yeah, there's nothing in here. Sadly, nothing for us. -200. Oh. I mean, we don't want peaceful. The Skaven must die. We are on a mission to wipe them all out. So let's go ahead and end our turn. That's turn 10 of the campaign.
A quest has been issued, mighty lord. A great adventure beckons. Be wary, though, for while the potential rewards are great, so too are the perils.
So, a new quest. A group of rangers make contact with the White Dwarf to relay a message that none other than the greatest brewmaster himself, Joseph Bugman, is in need of the White Dwarf's aid. After Grombrindal makes the long journey to the legendary brewery, Bugman accounts to him a tale of woe and fell magics that has all the hallmarks of the ruinous powers. It seems a Chaos Lord is loose in the Reichwald, performing fell rituals that corrupt beastmen tribes to his will and saturate the cloven ones in dark magic, making them an even greater threat than normal. So far, the Umgi of Sigmar have proven no match for those corrupted warherds. It is time for the Dowie to take matters into their own hands. So if we do this, we do get 5,000 treasury as well as the armor of Grimville Scales, which give us +8 armor, -10% enemy hero action success chance, -1 wound recovery time, +6 to our melee defense, and then +10% to our physical resistance and ward save. We also get 2 turns of casualty replenishment rate plus 10% and a 100 oath gold. Let's take a look at their army. It's just a bunch of beastmen here, but reinforcements expected. And the beastmen did ignore our trespassing warning. Although I do think, oh geez, that's a long way. If we look at Malekith on the end turn, he did retreat to the Temple of Cain. So we don't have to worry about him right now. Now, I do want to go and do this quest because, one, not only do we get some good rewards, it's also lore friendly because we're Grombrindal and we want to help our dwarf allies. However, we might have to wait a few turns just so we can replenish our units. Which makes me think, should we hold off declaring war on the Dark Elves? Our grudges have leveled up again, so now we're getting minus 10 diplomatic relation with dwarves, minus 10% research rate, minus 2 control. Oh, it's tough. We really need to fight the Dark Elves, I feel. But maybe we should go up here instead. I think we will get better replenishment in this settlement here. Yeah, it's only a 2 stack. So I think I put Grombrindal here. Maybe we do. We don't have access to crawler units because I haven't built the building. Can we build more income? We can build a barley field. Maybe I wait a turn just so we can upgrade our... Oh no, we're already upgrading this. Okay. Let's go ahead and spend 900 gold just getting some growth and casualty replenishment. That should help. But yeah, I think next time we will declare war against the Dark Elves and try and wipe out some of our grudges before we go ahead and then help out with that quest because our dwarf allies do need us. The Norscans have also taken back this settlement, so we might have to go back north and raise more of their lands. Oh, it's very tough. So many enemies for Grombrindal to focus on. But let's go ahead and end our turn. Faction destroyed. Clan Septic have been obliterated. There is nothing left apart from the echoing laughter of the thirsting gods. So that's very good because we wanted to get rid of the greenskins and the Skaven, of course. So, Guild Inspector. The Powerful Engineers Guild has sent one of their top tinkerers to inspect this Hold's workshops after hearing concerning rumours of innovation. On his arrival, he is so impressed with the work done he decides to stay. Hero recruited a Master Engineer. Master Engineers are doughty warriors, and while they might be more interested in drafting plans for fortifications, they are more than capable of fighting in the front lines. Very nice. So he's up here. So we can steal technology, wound or block army. I think I might actually use him just to scout the Northlands a bit. Just so we aren't caught off guard by an army. And there you see we do have almost a full stack of Norscans there. So if we do declare war against the Dark Elves now, we would be very vulnerable. Because they can come down to Raktor Gorge, they can come here from Nagarond. Of course we have, if we do take this, we would take this. And then we would also be vulnerable from the Norscans here. It's not a very good place to be in, and we can't really afford the upkeep of a second army, so we would either have to fully wipe out the Dark Elves, exposing us to more enemies over here, or start taking out the Norscans here. It's a very curious situation, one that's going to take a lot of thinking. But sadly, that's all I have time for today's episode. In the next episode, we will decide whether we go north to kill the Norscans or go east to fight the Dark Elves. But thank you for watching the episode, guys. I will be back tomorrow with another episode, and I will see you then.